A familiar face from your neighborhood farmer's market and on the Food Network, we talked with Suzannah Locketti about her passion for raw garlic salt and gourmet seasoning, and how her passion became her business. Here is Hippy Pilgrim on the local scene.
Coming up next on Decadent Delights, no matter what health plan you're following, breakfast is still the most important meal of the day.
The opportunity for the Food Network arose actually through PAC TV. Food Network launched this search for the next Food Network star. So I thought, I kind of want to be like part of this pilot. So I used my experience from PAC TV, made a quick little cooking video. I found out once I got there, my video was the first one received out of 10,000. And they told me that for a month, they only got my tape. So they had put out the contest, they had the deadline. I had the tape done and sent out before anyone even sent a tape in for 30 days. So my name was kind of just sitting on the executives' desks for a month. So they kind of had no choice but to pick me at that point, I guess.
I've given you 5 great recipes. Go to town, experiment.
I love inspiring people to get in their kitchens and cook, even if they think they have no skill at all. I was the only non-professional chef out of the 8 on that show. I just thought, who cares? Like, we all just have a basic love of cooking, and it really reiterated my love of food, my love of television, and my ability to be able to educate people in a super fun way than they would normally get from a regular cooking class, but do it through this like super cool medium of television. When I was little, I was very interested in food. My mom was a 5-star cook. Like, she was just so good. And she made everything from scratch. We had a garden, everything. So I saw farm to table from a very young age, kind of inspired me. The product came before the concept. I was given a jar of garlic salt by a coworker at an old job back in 2005. And it turns out she made this product once a year at the holidays, gave it to people for Christmas gifts, and that was the end of it. So I used it, and I was like, hey girl, I really like that garlic salt, can you give me some more? And she said, you're gonna have to come up with a recipe on your own. I make it once a year, and I made a batch. Mine was like totally different from hers, but I liked it. I was like, oh, I really like this. So I gave it as gifts. And over the years, people got super embarrassed coming and getting free salt all the time. They were like, why don't you just start a business? So I had a group of friends together, and we were like, oh, what can we name it? And everyone's like, Susie's Salt, Susie's Spices, and nothing was really jiving with me. And I was really hell-bent on making a fresh farm-to-table garlic salt. And when I was 19, I used to give like those boat duck tours in Plymouth Harbor. So I had to know all this Pilgrim history. And I remember thinking to myself, like, what would some little hippie Pilgrim chick back then be doing to make this garlic salt if she had to make it back in the Pilgrim days? And I imagined this like Pilgrim with long hair, and her hair was in like garlic braids, and you know, wicked hippie on the beach milling her salt. And I thought, oh my God, that's like a cool name, a Hippy Pilgrim. Just went for it, and I'm so glad I did, because every time someone goes by our banner at a market, they're like, oh my God, I love that name, and it just fits who we are. Like, I am a little hippie, and I am a pilgrim. I've lived here all my life, so it just kind of works. My business started out with just me. We're 10 years in the game now, so it's myself. I have a full-time employee, 6 part-time employees, bubbly, enthusiastic, women who work for me, who were customers prior to this, that have now, are now working for me and selling this product for me. That's kind of magical to know that not only are they advancing my personal and professional goals, but I'm doing the same for them in their lives. My first full-time employee is a gifted small business owner herself. She does makeup and photography, and I give her the flexibility in this job, if she has a makeup job or a photo shoot, to just take that rest of the day off and do it. I'm able to allow people to flourish in their dreams at the same time they're allowing me to flourish in mine, so it's this two-way awesomeness happening, and that's with each individual employee. We all have a different relationship with each other, and we all are helping each other meet each other's goals in life. Our goals just look different. The community has contributed to my success by actively supporting small and local. You learn so much about your customer base, and if it weren't for all of those customers, I wouldn't be able to do what I love. Whenever someone leaves my booth at a market, I always say, welcome to the family, number one, if they're a new customer, or I'll say, you know, I'm so grateful that you supported small and local, or I'm grateful to have a home in your kitchen. And if it's an online order, I always write a personal thank you note. An order never leaves the site without a personal thank you note that says, I appreciate the order, here's why I appreciate it, and just, it's always handwritten, and it's just part of that personal relationship I have with everybody. My advice for business owners just starting out, be super enthusiastic about your product. When they see how excited you are and how helpful it is in your life, they're more willing to take a chance when you kind of share that little bit of personal story about yourself. So they truly know the person behind the brand, and it's just a more personal relationship. When I create a new product, my first thought is the flavor profile. And I usually have a dream, like, oh, I had this dream and these flavors are gonna go well together, and I'll create it. I am thinking, like, what will this go with? What will this pair well with? So I can come out with ideas for my customers, but I'm never quite imagining who ends up with it. I received an email recently, and it was from a customer who, they are big into family tradition with recipes, so they pass on recipes from generation to generation. And they were writing to let me know that this generation's recipes all include my garlic salt as a specific ingredient in the recipe. So it's not just garlic, salt, pepper. They write Hippy Pilgrim, you know, basil, garlic, salt. And to know that you've become part of a family's tradition, that's just like, I mean, that's when you know you've made it, even if you're not on national shelves. Like, I know I've made it when I've made that type of personal impact in a customer's life.
Thank you for watching. We are grateful for your attention. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to The Local Scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.